Once upon a time, there were two monks, a young one and an old one. They were traveling together on a pilgrimage to a distant temple. As they were walking, they came across a river that was too deep to cross. They saw a young woman standing on the bank of the river, crying and begging for help to cross to the other side. The old monk immediately understood the situation and offered to carry the young woman on his back and take her across the river. The young monk was shocked by the old monk's offer. He knew that according to their monastic vows, they were not allowed to touch a woman, let alone carry her. However, the old monk was determined to help the young woman, and he carried her across the river without hesitation. After they had crossed the river, the old monk put the young woman down and continued on his journey with the young monk. However, the young monk was consumed with anger and resentment towards the old monk. He couldn't believe that the old monk had broken their vows of celibacy and touched a woman. He was silent for several miles, brooding over the incident, and couldn't let it go. Finally, he could no longer contain himself and asked the old monk, "How could you carry that woman? You know that we have taken vows of celibacy, and we are not supposed to touch a woman, let alone carry her." The old monk turned to the young monk and said, "I put the woman down on the other side of the river, but you are still carrying her in your mind." The young monk was struck by the old monk's wisdom. He realized that he had been carrying his anger and resentment for too long, and it was weighing him down. He had been unable to let go of his anger, even though the woman was long gone. The old monk continued, "We must be like the river, flowing freely and unimpeded. If we hold on to our anger and resentment, it will weigh us down and prevent us from moving forward." The young monk began to understand the value of letting go. He realized that the old monk had not broken their vows, but had simply helped someone in need. He let go of his anger and resentment, and felt a sense of peace and clarity he had never felt before. From that day forward, the young monk made a conscious effort to let go of his anger and resentment. He knew that it was not easy, but he also knew that it was necessary for his own well-being. He continued to travel with the old monk, learning from his wisdom and becoming more and more like the river, flowing freely and unimpeded. In time, the young monk became an old monk himself, passing on his wisdom to others who were struggling with their own anger and resentment. He taught them the importance of letting go and the value of forgiveness, showing them that it was possible to find peace and clarity even in the midst of difficult circumstances. And so the teaching was passed down from generation to generation, from monk to monk, reminding us all of the importance of letting go and moving forward, like the river flowing freely and unimpeded.